We feel like a falling star, unsure of where we will land. We feel lost and confused, without anything to grab and hold. When we land, will we shatter? Will we break and crack without any means to put ourselves together? We feel alone, even with the many fragments and sparks that create our body and keep us company. How could they understand? How could they grasp the magnitude of these emotions that keep us in perpetual falling? Desire builds flesh and bone around our core, muscle to bind us together. We want. We crave. We wish to not be alone. This body will let us cry out into the void and hope it answers back. The ground is approaching, ever near but still so far. When we land, will we find peace? Will it hurt? Will we be different? A solemn promise is unspoken in this void, a promise of others that dwell within this darkness, that live as fragmented stars as we. But it promises loneliness and isolation, a fractured sense of unity for the broken. We were formed by the divine, with the endless plans and stories they write for us. They chip and crack at us with their tools to shape us for what best fits the narrative. Do they understand the pain, the suffering we must go through for their stories? Are we simply characters to them, dolls they dress up to be actors in their plays? Desperation fractures and crystallizes within, threatening to break out and impale us from the inside. A spiral internally that mirrors the external spiral to whatever fate meets us on the ground. The star at our core grows erratic, lashing out at the vessel we call home. We hurt and claw, we bite and break. What do we deserve if we are this broken? What light belongs in this dark void we now call home? We are a new moon in a starless night, meant to be unseen and unwanted. What is a falling star, if not something cast from a sky that did not want it? But then, we saw you. We saw your light as your body formed around fragmented shards of starlight. You were so bright in the darkness. As you fell, you brought a melody so beautiful, like a colorful rhapsody when all we knew was a dark dirge. Even in this perpetual void, you left a trail of color and light. Without thinking, as you drew close, we reached out a hand, desperate to hear more of that song, to see more of that light. The ground grew closer. We would both shatter and break more than we already were should we meet the surface. Then you took our hands, and the void exploded into color. The loneliness fracturing our core faded and was replaced with the sound of your laughter. We had both been so lost in this void of shattered stars, unsure of where anyone else who felt as we did could be. As the void faded, we were surrounded with light and falling stars, all so lost and confused in a world not built for them, but we were meant to survive, and survive we would. We would burn and blaze bright in this crumbling sky so that the world could see us, so that we could be a beacon for those fallen and fractured, so that they knew they were not alone. In this new sky of light and song, we think of you who pulled us from the void. As we descend towards the ground, slow and steady, we hold your hand as we laugh. We burn in defiance of the hand dealt to us in the story we were written. With you at our side, we find a courage in our core that makes us feel like we could soar. With you, we don't feel the need to look where we are falling, as we know with you we are whole. As we hold your hand, foreheads pressed together, we meet the ground, and